Well, thank you very much for your kind introductions. We are very happy to have you all here, and we wish you will enjoy or at least be interested and be willing to know more about Pixel after this seminar. As I have said, the webinar will start with the project coordinator, which is Carlos Palau. You can see on camera, presenting the project as a whole. I will pass him the floor, but before I would like to present him a little bit. He's a full professor of the Universidad Politécnica de Valencia. He has been for more than 25 years involved in framework programs in the European Commission funded projects, both FP6, FP7, H2020, and has been in the late years coordinating some of those. Pixel is one of the projects he has coordinated the last few years, and he's very well experienced on the development of IoT systems, computer distributed systems with security, and many other ICT-related technologies. With nothing else, I will just pass you the floor, Carlos, for your presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nacho, for the presentation. First of all, thanks for attending to the seminar. And the idea is to present right now to provide a project overview of what we are planning to do in Pixel. Okay, so the main idea behind Pixel is that we are trying to use IoT technologies. Nacho, go ahead, one more. Okay, we are trying to introduce the use of IoT platforms in order to improve the environmental impact of the different ports and the components of the ports in the surrounding areas. So the origin of the project started when we realized that there were a very huge gap between the bigger, large ports in Europe and the medium, small ports in Europe. Usually, these ports are not receiving as much funding, and they are not doing so much investment in order for achieve environmental monitoring and improve operation efficiency in terms of environmental impact. And we realized that there was a very long tail of this kind of small ports. We have not many large, well-funded ports, and we have a lot of medium, small, not well-funded ports. So we think that they are a very good target group for the contribution of the project. So we are trying to achieve a very good integration of the different operational data, of the operation of the port, but additionally data coming from different sensors. We find that there is an feasibility to be able to measure, analyze, and process all the heterogeneous data coming from obtained in the different ports. And sometimes the ports are prevented to use this data to optimize the different processes. So at the end of the day, all these three steps, the suboptimal use, the unfeasibility, and the prevented use of optimizing processes, achieve a high environmental impact, and this environmental impact is increasing day by day. So, Nacho? So, our idea regarding Pixel is that we are trying to provide a flexible IoT solution, trying to reduce this environmental impact, and introducing not only data from the sensors. So the idea is to introduce in the platform, in the Pixel platform, data that is coming from different sources. The idea is that we will have producers, the entities that will be sensors, that can be processes, that can be other programs, that can be external sources, that will provide different data to the Pixel platform. And this different data that will be produced will be consumed by the platform, by the applications in the platform, and will optimize this operation in these small and medium-sized ports. So Pixel, as it is an Horizon 2020 project from the Mobility for Growth program. It's a 36-month duration project, although it has been extended to 41, mainly due to the COVID crisis. And the most important thing is that the three key aspects of the project is the enabling technologies, the different technologies that we will be using. One of it, the main one, will be IoT, but there will be others, simulators and so on. That the project is completely use case centric, because the project is based on the information that we are gathering from the 4 ports that are involved in the project: Bordeaux, Thessaloniki, Piraeus, and Monfalcone. And the idea is that the project is extendable to other projects in the European Union and outside of the European Union if needed. Nacho? Okay. So The Pixel objectives. We are trying to use to enable IoT-based connections from the different resources, agents within the port, and if the port is a port city, a port that is integrated in the city, data coming from the city sensor deployed around the city. And the idea is to use an IoT-oriented approach, using IoT platforms with different data streams coming to the platform, processed using a common ontology, and so on. We plan to integrate different heterogeneous data sources, and the point is that there is no mandatory ontology, there is no mandatory data model, there is no mandatory approach to provide data to third parties, for example, the port. So if we have a terminal inside a port, they will have their own terminal management platform, and they will be using their own ontology, their own data model, and they will have to adapt this data in order that it can be processed all together with the data coming from the different agents. Then all this data that is processed, stored, and managed in the platform will allow to improve port operation, to enable a quicker, a more accurate and in-depth knowledge of what we are doing in the different ports, or what the port are doing, and improve and achieve a better environmental efficiency in terms of the different operations. So a key aspect is sometimes we may need to model and simulate different port operations, and in order to introduce the resulting data in the platform, and then through them be able to modify and improve this port operation. So additionally, we are planning we already have done them, define and develop different predictive algorithms, and provide one of the most important contributions of the project. It will be to develop a single metric. This single metric is one of the impacts of the project, is what we call the Port Environmental Index, and will provide a measure of which is the impact of the port in the environment. So the idea is to have one figure that will be able to provide this kind of impact. Nacho? Okay, these are the partners of the project. We are 15 partners. One of the partners already coming with two third parties, that is Orange, and in a near future the Port of Bordeaux, that will be also introducing one third party in the consortium. Nacho? Okay, so which is the pixel concept? What we are proposing is a new conceptual and technology development, and that will rely on information sharing and IoT conceptual platforms to achieve the objectives and the ambition that we are proposing in the project. So the idea is to try to provide a new approach, okay, that will bring all the ports that are involved in the project, and later on with the sustainability and extendability of the results, the different ports that are involved in a step closer to the port of the future concept. So the plan that we have is structured in the work plan that we are having in the project, that is gathering the requirements, modeling the different processes, achieving the results of the Port Environmental Index, and provide an ICT infrastructure with the IoT platform and the Pixel Information Hub. And with all these enablers, develop the different pilot trials, evaluate them, and later on assess the results, provide an expansion and extendability plan, and be able to provide a convincing and credible business model in order to exploit the different results of the project. Nacho? Okay, so the different approach, or the approach that we are having, is that we will have information sharing. We will be able to provide a multimodal transport optimization, different predictive algorithms, and try to enable environmental management for small ports. This environmental management is supported by the PEI, the Port Environmental Index, that we want it to be standardized, formatted, to be generic, and to have on purpose different features. And it will be tested and evaluated through the ambitious use cases that we are proposing in the project. Nacho? Okay, so this is the architecture of the technological solution that we are proposing from the point of view of ICT. We will have this heterogeneous sources data acquisition that will come from the different IoT platforms, open data, information silos, the port management system. So this data will be coming from the port side, land side, cities, ground transport, different data sources that will be introduced in the information hub. The information hub will gather all this data, will have all together in a single place, okay, and will be used through the different to provide an integrated dashboard that will show the different data in different graphs, in different figures, in different control panels, and will be used for the different operational tools, and with the data achieved, processed, and integrated in the dashboard, be able to provide and to show it in different operational tools. Nacho? Okay, so the 4 pilots and the use cases that we are having we have as members of the consortium, they are the main stakeholders of the project, and the one that will be testing the solution are the Port of Bordeaux, that will have an energy management use case, the Port of Monfalcone, that will test an intermodal transport use case. The Port of Monfalcone, as it will be, has been, or is going to be substituted by the Port of Trieste, as it has been acquired by it in the consortium. And we also have the Port of Piraeus and the Port of Thessaloniki, that as they are close to the different cities, they will test the port city integration. And additionally, we have a transversal use case that is common to all ports. That is the Port Environmental Index use case. That is the measurement of the environmental index of the 4 ports that are members of the consortium. Nacho? Okay, so the impacts. At the end of the day, we are not developing Pixel just for the fun of developing Pixel. So what we want is to achieve some results. So the 5 impacts that we consider, the main 5 impacts, because there are others. We want to reduce the environmental impact of the different port activities. That is really, really important from the Green Deal approach of the Commission. We plan to reduce the operational infrastructural cost, because at the end of the day, the ports are a business, and we are planning to do that. If the operational infrastructural costs are reduced, probably the environmental impacts also will be affected. We will try to improve the logistic efficiency in different multimodal hubs, in which we will have different transport means that are being used to transport goods and transport people. We are interested in have a better port city integration, because many ports are constructed outside the cities, but the tradition and if we take a look to Europe, it's very typical that we have a port city all together. And one of the impacts that we want to achieve is to have a large scale adoption of the Pixel solution and approach. So the sustainability and the extendability of the results of the project is one of the main impacts that we are planning to achieve with the project. Nacho? Okay, so the Pixel summary, we have Pixel in the middle. That is the piece that was missing in this component, were the use cases, the environmental monitoring, the optimization of the different approaches, the port operations, sensing, ICT technology, and the Pixel information hub. And the Pixel project is putting all this together, that in the majority of the time it existed, okay? The different ports have all of this in place, and we are trying with the project to order all this in order to have all the information in a single place, in order to be able to provide a good result. So this is it from an overview of the project, what we are planning to achieve from the project. And now Miguel Angel is going to provide a presentation in order from the perspective of the technical manager of the project. Okay, thank you very much. We will be able to respond any question that we have at the end. Thank you
very much, Carlos. Thank you for your presentation. As Carlos has said, we will let you make some questions at the end. I would like to kindly remind you of this raise your hand functionality of Teams. If you have any doubt at any moment, feel free to just click that button and ask us anything. At this point, I would like to pass the floor to Miguel Ángel Llorente, which is from ProDevelop, the technical coordinator of the project. He has also wide experience in the field of research in ICT technologies, more than 7 years, I guess. He will probably correct. He's the former president of the Association of Telecommunication Engineers in Valencia, and he is also very experienced and very well into the maritime port sector, within which his company ProDevelop develops tools for. So with nothing else, I will just pass the floor to him. Thank you, Miguel Ángel. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was mute. Sorry. Do you hear me well now? Yes.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So thank you for the introduction, Nacho. Yes. Yeah, I said. Well, I would like to be kind of brief because we have few time, and I would like to go into the discussion, of course. So yeah, let me start. So I would like to answer a few questions. So just to complete the presentation of Carlos, because indeed this presentation has been as a summary, as an introduction of the project, has been very complete. But I would like to remark some key aspects of, in my opinion, of Pixel, and just open for the discussion. And if you have further comments or doubts or whatever. So first question is, a data platform is a need. Is really a need, a data platform in ports? Because something interesting is that we technical people, if you pay attention, both Carlos Palau group is a technical, from the point of view of technology group, and also we technical coordinators ProDevelop, we do software for ports. It is our main business. So we tend to offer technological solutions for all the problems that we find. So, and this is something that could be a mistake, because technology is not the answer to everything. This is clear. So let me go a bit further on this. And yes, obviously, my answer will be yes, data platform is a need in a ports. But the reason is that yeah, you could have listened this fancy or very or maybe at this time a little bit wary phrase of that the data is the new oil and the data must be extracted and exploited, and so maybe this is not the point right now, but what is true is that the data is becoming more and more available. Data is there because the operations in ports are happening every time. And the point is that as the technology advances, the availability of the data, availability of the hardware and software that enable the exploitation, the use of this data towards better and smarter decisions is out there, and it can be used for more and more ports. And that connects to the idea that the initial idea of enabling small and medium ports with this kind of IT technologies. Okay, and that's it. That's it. The main purpose of Pixel from my point of view. Obviously, we have the framework of the environmental impact, and indeed the experiments performed in Pixel are focused in mitigation of the environmental impacts of the pod. But in the end, in a larger scope, what we are doing is to enable pods with data in order to make smarter decisions. This is it. Okay. And another need that we typically and continuously observe in the ports, not only in the ports, but in the industrial organizations in general, is that they, as you ports are divided, as my organization, the same, divided into departments, each department sees one part of the reality, one narrow, maybe sometimes narrow, sometimes it's wider, but it's only a part of the reality. And this picture that you will also show in other presentations for sure, but represents this phenomenon, which is that if every department, every guy which is here can be a department, IT department, maintenance, finance, operations, if each of them sees and observes one narrow part of the reality of the pod, in this case, the assessment is different. And if you have a problem, the way you face the problem would be different. And this is what we want to limit or to tackle by introducing the concept of a single source of truth, which is essentially what the Pixel platform provides. One single point where the data is stored homogeneously and agreed between the departments, so that everyone knows that if I go there and I take data from there, is the reality of the pods. This is another couple of pictures that I've included in order to try to explain what is the purpose of the project. The left one is extracted from the Industry 4.0 initiative, a German initiative, and in the right part you see a kind of path towards the digital transformation. I'm not really a fan of this these fancy concepts of Industry 4.0 digital transformation, because they are used widely and they don't have meaning, because if we use for everything, in the end we don't give that the meaning. But the point is that what we are doing is to work in the improvement of the transparency of the data. This transparency of data emerges when we start connecting the different data sources, different equipment in a single source of truth, in a single database in the end, from technological point of view. And this transparency emerges and enables services like real-time analytics, big data, machine learning, and so on. And we do some experiments in Pixel, in the scope of Pixel, with these fields that are focused in the mitigation of the environmental impact. Okay, so in conclusion, what I would like to represent of the purpose of Pixel is to go from the left picture, which is the way we run the pods right now. We have a problem, then we go to the map and see, okay, the problem can be here, but then I have to get data from here. I have to ask someone else. Then I get back to be driving, and then I have another diversion. So I need to get back to the map and so on. So this is a slow process in the best case, and we want to go to the right side. So we are running the pod and we get automatically the information, and there are models that know how to interpret the information to give actual insights of your operation, and hopefully help you to reduce the environmental impact of the pods. Okay, say this. How do we do it in Pixel? What is the approach? Well, Carlos has explained, so I will be very quick here. But this is the cycle of Pixel. First, we develop models of relevant operations. One of the good things that we have in Pixel is that we have 4 pods with 4 different kind of needs. I mean, 4 different pains. Because in the end, yeah, all the pods share a lot of interest. The operation is similar in most cases, but each pod, and very specifically for the smaller pods, this is especially relevant. They have different pains at this moment, so we need to develop different models because they have completely different problems. And this leads us to the heterogeneity of the models that I will speak a little bit later. After this, we feed these models with actual data, with the reality measured from the IoT devices. And not only IoT, because one of the problems also we are facing, and this is very common, especially in small ports, but I would say that in all ports, I mean, from our experience as a company, we always see this kind of problems, is that the data is not always in IoT. IoT is relatively new technology, and now the equipment and the accesses and everything is connected, but not the legacy systems. So we need also to connect databases, or maybe to do some adapters and so in order even to include external sources like weather, for instance, in order to populate the models with valuable data. And finally, once we have applied these models, once we have applied changes that can lead us, or we think that lead us to improvements in environmental aspects, we measure these aspects in order to compare them, to compare different sub-projects, different changes, and understand what is really impactful and what is not, and then we can prioritize our actions. And the good thing of having a data platform is that you can repeat and keep improving. So you have the foundation of a continuous improvement system. This is a list. I think that is not a complete list, but a list of relevant models. Sorry. We have already developed in Pixel, and the most important thing of these models is that they are language, technology, and platform agnostic. And this is one key of our technical activity, which is that we very soon realized that if we try to put very strong rules to develop these models, we will end up in something custom for the project, but not capable of grow in the future. And this is obviously against the concept of port of the future. So in this case, what we did is, well, I will explain later, but basically propose an interface that all the models must comply, and let the rest up to the developer. This is a simplified version of what Carlos has showed about the architecture, or more than the architecture, the functional components of the platform. Okay, so I will go later a bit in depth, just to remark the most important novelties of the project. And finally, regarding the port environmental index, what we try to do is to select a collection of indicators that compounded can give us one single number in order to compare the performance of the ports in terms of environment. And this is also quite interesting because let us understand the impact of each and every action we do in the ports, and compare in a simple way. Because we have this single indicator, and this indicator is composed by the ones that you see here: emissions to the atmosphere, emission of wastewater, and so on. Okay, so up to here is everything is clear, but what makes us different? This is a question. This is a fair question that you could have by now. So this is the collection of value propositions of Pixel. I think that Joao will speak in future webinars about this, so I will go very quick. In this is extracted from a presentation of Joao, so I'm sorry, Joao. But we have the first IoT integrated platform focused on ports. This is completely new because up to now what we have are generic platforms with obviously generic needs, but we are focused in the PO activity. Another uniqueness, as said, is the Pole Environmental Index, that we wanted to do it really, from the scientific point of view, coherent, because we want that this index really represents the environmental impact of a pod, and not that we don't want to be something that can be cheated. And this is the important thing, that we have put a lot of science behind in order to be really relevant for the impact. Yeah, we represent all this data in a secure dashboard with operational tools, and this is very related to the integrated platform proposal. And then we have the information hub capable of store also the results of smart models. So I will go, for 1 minute, a couple of minutes. This is the last one. For each and every technological differentiation we have done in Pixel. So first thing, from the sensors, from the data sources point of view, there are no preconditions. Especially when we speak about smart ports, we can say, okay, you have to renew all your equipment, all your systems, because these are not compliant with Pixel. No, what we did is, okay, we need to face that the systems are very heterogeneous. Everything can be there, and we need to be flexible enough to adapt to what is already there. So this is the first technological differentiation. We don't put rules to be integrated. We look for the flexibility in order to bring everything inside Pixel. Second aspect, we use fireware technology in the data acquisition layer. And yeah, fireware is a relatively successful and unsuccessful project, depends on the point of view. But fireware gave us a lot of interesting interfaces that they combine very well with the idea of including everything, of being flexible. And we use the Orion Context Broker, this technological solution. But the most important thing is that we are using NGSI agents that are very flexible, and they are very capable of adapt to the different data sources. And we have prepared port-specific data models in order to store the information. These data models are inheritance of the fireware data model. So this is a contribution to the fireware community. From the models perspective, we have two families, let's say, of models. The operational models, I mean the conventional models, and then the Port Environmental Index, which is treated also as a model which calculated the KPIs. We have inside the operational models the conventional, I mean mathematical models. We are not, nowadays everyone speaks about machine learning and so, yeah, but there are also models that works very well, and we don't need to use the machine learning and artificial intelligence. And then, yes, of course, we have also predictive algorithms based off artificial intelligence. But the most important thing is that these models are completely heterogeneous. They are up to the developer to be built. So the solution we have found is to encapsulate them and to bring or create an API they have to expose in order to be understood by the rest of the platform. So this constraint affects to the operational tools and the information hub. Here in the operational tools, information hub and dashboards and notifications, we use modern scalable web technologies. I could go a bit deeper on this, but basically what I would like to say is that everything is designed to be extended in the future, because if we are building the port of the future, we will find new challenges that we currently don't know, and that's why everything is designed to be scalable and to be extended. And finally, final comment is that we need to assume that the users, they are not developers. So one principle that we need to use is, I bring this term from the automotive sector, which is the Poka-yoke design, meaning that everything must be clear for the user. The user doesn't need to make decision in order to represent a model or to run an execution or whatever. These are technicalities. The user needs to focus on the data he gets and how to interpret this data and to improve the performance of the bot. And this is it. So thank you very much. Thanks for bearing this this speech, and I'm open to any question.
Thank you very much, Miguel Ángel, for your super interesting presentation. It's been a pleasure to hear from you always. At this point, I would like to just pass the floor to Leonidas in chairing this webinar in order to comply with any questions you could have. Thank you in advance for this.
Thank you very much. I would just like to remind you, those who came after the beginning of the webinar, that you can always press the hand icon in order to ask questions, or you can unmute yourselves and go ahead and ask any questions. Also, you can use the chat feature. So, are there any questions you would like to ask at this moment? Okay, I have one. Carlos, what do you have? Do you expect to have any working versions that can be showcased? And when do you expect those working versions to be ready? Are you going to participate in any kind of fora or events that are related to Pixel that we can attend and we can follow in order to see this solution?
Thank you, Leonidas. The idea is that the project was expected to be finished in May, or in April, actually, in 30th April, and we have been delayed by the COVID crisis. Then the idea is that before the summer, we are supposed to have different solutions to be showcased. We are waiting to understand if the different events that are planned before the summer, like for example the IoT Week, could be had in place, and if the IoT Week is finally held in June in Dublin, in Ireland, we will be showcasing and showing the different results of Pixel in a booth there. We are not sure if TRA 2020 that was cancelled will be rescheduled in 2021 or it will be completely delayed to 2022. But if there is the possibility of having it showcased in other conference, scientific or industrial conference, we will be doing it.
Thank you very much, Carlos. I see Joao has a question. Please, Joao, go ahead.
Yes, I have a question to Miguel Ángel. It's very much of a question on the order of the day. The corona situation has been pushing a lot of industries to this digital transformation. And my question is, how do you see this digital transformation being pushed in ports and terminals and vessel and shipping companies? Is this advancing? Is going to be advancing a lot in the near future? In which areas of technology do you think this is going to be happening? Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe. Well, it's complex. I'll try to summarize. from the perspective of this kind, what the corona has brought is the clear demonstration that the digitalization makes us more flexible and more capable of resist all kind of threats, external threats. So this is something that now everyone knows, because as you see, we are using all Teams, and this 1 year ago would have been a difficulty to organize a webinar online and so. So for all the organizations, digitalization, or more than digitalization, the fact that it's not needed to be on the terminal, for instance, or on the pod to run the pod. This is digitalization. I don't know. I'm not fan of these terms, but that the digital technologies help us to run remotely a lot of things, this is completely clear. So yeah, from this perspective, this is a very important step. Another thing that we can dismiss is obviously that there will be a lot of funds now flowing to the digitalization and health as well, because these are being, in my opinion, have been the two keys of the resistance to the pandemic. One, obviously, the health system, and second, the capability of work from home. So yeah, I don't know if I've answered to your question, and also if you want, I can also give you a more personal answer, which is that from the from the perspective of my company, the activity hasn't stopped at all, and also has been increased. So we see more interest in these kind of projects, and maybe the reluctancy of some steering boards to adopt digital technologies has been slower thanks to the threat of coronavirus.
Okay, thank you. This is I think a lot
Thank you
to
both.
explore here.
Thank you both. Benjamin also has a question he would like to ask.
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation to both Carlos and Miguel Angel. I have one question for each of one. It's not rather a question, but mainly a way to allow you to comment a little bit better of something that might be also key aspects of the project. For example, for Carlos, you may comment about the adaptation of the project as a whole to include a new use case based or targeting some aspects of the COVID pandemic, because initially we planned only for main use cases, but afterwards we had also offered the European Commission a new, even if small use case, targeting part of or targeting some aspects of the operational activities in ports that may benefit from our models. And just to give also the question to Miguel Angel, you might also comment a little bit better about our open source approach, not only on the data models to contribute to firmware, but also on most of the models and predictive algorithms. And also, as you are a technical coordinator, you may also comment our work or our efforts on the architecture that has been focused aligning previous architectures of receipts ones and also industrial ones. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Benjamin, for the question. Actually, yes, it's true. It's true that in the presentation I have adhered to the current version of the grant agreement that we have with the Commission. Okay, that are the 4 use cases that we proposed in the start. But in April 2020, we received the request of the Commission in order to check if the technology that we are developing in Pixel can be used to fight COVID-19 crisis. Then we suggested some possibilities of using the different technologies that we are developing in Pixel to provide a good insight of what is being done in the different ports and the different information that we are gathering and can be used to fight COVID-19. So actually we are working not only in 4 use cases plus the pay transversal use case, but we also have the COVID-19 use case, a pilot that is using the different data that we are gathering and providing some information in order to fight COVID-19. We hope that we don't have to use it in the future because we are not having any another pandemic. But as this is getting long and it's not going to be solved in 1 year, probably the technology can be used in the near future. So this is the idea behind the pilot. Miguel Angel, your question? Unmute.
Sorry. Yeah, regarding the architecture, and to be really sincere, it was a very important initial condition for us in order to establish a set of components and relations between these components that are logic and can allow us to grow, as said, to be prepared for the future. Because one of the problems that we typically face in research projects is that they take long. They take from 3 to 4 years, and when you start drafting the idea, is like 1 year before starting the project. So you need to be very you have to see the future somehow and try to adapt to what you think that is going to come in order to when you release the result to be ready for the market. But nowadays, and connecting to this idea, everything is evolving in a way that the architectural part of the IoT platforms is almost assumed. So maybe 4 years before, and when we started also in other EU projects like InterIoT, it was a matter of research, the architecture, because in those moments we were starting connecting things, and it was something that we needed to understand what is the best way. But nowadays, the things are different, in my opinion, because more and more architectural proposals are very similar, and we see a lot of approaches in commercial projects and in commercial products, and all of them are very similar. So, yeah, the thing I would like to comment about Pixel is that we started in 2017 drafting the idea, and this architecture that we started there, and obviously we have developed within the project, is valid now and resembles a lot to a lot of commercial architectures that we can see in very successful products like Uber or the other let's say commercial products that we can observe in the market. So this is something that we can be very proud. And regarding the models, I don't remember exactly what was the question or the issue.
No, it was more related about the approach that we are going also contributing in the open source community, also with the models, not also with the data models.
Yes. Well, actually, the exercise that we should do let's say once we have the results and everything, and we don't have to do technical work on the project, is to revise all our results and to understand which of them are valuable for the community. And this is something that is in our compromise with the European Commission in our grant agreement. So yes, we have a lot of leads, let's say to contribute to open source or open communities. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much to both of you.
Thank you very much. I would just like to comment that the thing that Pixel has been adapted within only a few months in order to prepare a pilot for the COVID-19 situation shows the potential for expandability and scalability of the project that we are running. Now, in that point, if there are no other questions, I would like to thank you all very much for your participation. I would like to also say that in the very near future, the beginning of February, we are going to hold the next session, the next webinar session, which is going to be related to the it's going to elaborate a little bit on the actual needs of the ports by presenting the user stories and also presenting the science behind the product, which is related to models and predictive algorithms. Also, we are going in the future to expand with other webinars more on the issues of the PI, the architecture, and the commercial exploitation of what has been presented in this webinar. So thank you all very much for your participation, and I'm hoping to see you in the next webinars. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leonidas, for sharing.
We have
thank you very much.
Christina. Oh, okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day. Thank you all.
Nice day.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye to all of you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.